What we doing tonight, chat? Y'all double tap the screen on your way in, man. I know I haven't been here in a couple of days, but that was by design, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. What we doing tonight? What we doing tonight, chat? There we go. Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing tonight, chat? Weekend of plug in the building, man. What we doing tonight, chat? What we doing, man? They saying gas prices surge amid global conflict. Whispers of the USA drafting soldiers and all parties digging in. Formerly says, love you, big dog, but you dead wrong on this. Oh, well, tell me why I'm wrong. What's up, Core World, La? Dorsey, what's up, Laurie? What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. We got a lot to cover tonight. A whole lot to cover tonight, chat. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's getting real, man. It is getting real. I'm trying to get to the rundown on what we're gonna cover. Oh, they got a new supreme leader in Iran. We got gas prices, oil prices shooting through the roof. We got the what is that called? The desalination. You know I'm country. I call it desalination, but that ain't what it's called. You know, the water purification facilities, man. They've been targeting the water purification facilities, so they're saying that this is now crimes against humanity. So this is where we are on this, chat. This is where we are. We're going to get the whole rundown. I'm going to, I don't know if I can do call-ins again. I forgot to fix the damn call-ins, but we might get into Discord. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. I hope everybody's having a great night. We finna get into it, man. Yeah, let me know y'all locked in here. Let me know y'all are locked in. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, the water infrastructure under fire in the Middle East. Let's see. Iran hit energy infrastructures in countries like Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. That's exactly what the Professor Chang, I believe his name, Professor, I forgot his name, but the professor, that's exactly what he said was going to happen. It said, but notably avoided direct strikes on water facilities. Despite their strategic importance, analysts warn that targeting these could force mass evacuations. So yeah, that's what I didn't put into play. These people aren't just going to sit here and just, go without food, go without water. They're going to be ready to move the hell around, man. And where are they going to go? That's a good question. That's a good question. They're saying in retaliation that U.S. hit Iran's water treatment facility, cutting water to 30 villages. And they saying that's been condemned by Iranian officials as a blatant crime. So we got the Strait of Hamas blocked off. We got water facilities getting knocked out. Caroline Levitt said Trump's not gonna rule out putting boots on the ground. It's getting crazy, chat. It's getting crazy. We seen gas surge today to like $3.45 nationwide. All of that. It was better under Biden when it comes to gas. That shit's out the window. We're about to see $4 gas, man. We just seen barrels of oil surge over $100. I think it was like 104, 108. Yeah, we're on the way to $4 gas, chat. How do y'all feel about that, man? We'll get into those draft talks later. Let's see. They're saying the Gulf Point, the water isn't just military, it's a humanitarian flashpoint. The Gulf states rely on those facilities for 40 to 90% of their water. That is wild, 40 to 80%. Oh, the Cuba chat. I got a guy, he's from the Caribbean. He went and he studied abroad in quite a few places. I invited him on the channel. He was gonna come on tonight, but I didn't want to rush it. So we'll probably do it tomorrow night because he's in the Caribbean right now. And he's saying what America's has done to Cuba over these last few months is affecting him in the Caribbean as far as medical care and all of those things. I didn't know that the doctors in the Caribbean, most of them are trained in Cuba, something along those lines. So I'm gonna get him over here so he can break that down for you guys. I had a really good conversation. Actually, I've had like 3 or 4 really good conversations with him. He's really well read. He's really well read. Let's see. Oh, he said he's also upset with the leaders down there. I really got to get him online. I didn't want to have that convo offline with him. Not the specific Cuba convo, because I wanted to do a live with you guys so y'all can ask him questions or anything like that. Let's go. Where are we at? Oh, the unconditional surrender. So that's where we are. We understand that this war is going to rage on. It's going to keep going on because Trump just said he's not settling for anything less than unconditional surrender. What is unconditional surrender? That means it's over with. Later, these people are doing this shit for the most high, man. These people aren't about the unconditional surrender easily. I don't know what's going on, Chad. Unconditional surrender is not even a negotiation, a deal where, hey, maybe this, maybe that. No, Trump wants an unconditional surrender. You said they want Iran's uranium. Yeah, they're supposed to be doing operations to try to get out the enriched uranium over there. You said, where's the Venezuelan oil going? Hey man, you said it's $5.60 in California. It's only $2.15 in Alabama. It's around $3 where I'm at, chat. When I was coming in, headed to the house, I seen gas stations earlier in the day. It was like $2.89, some shit like that. And then by night, when I was on my way home, they raised it to $3.19. So from $2.89 in the morning to $3.19 by nightfall. Crazy. Seeing this video of oil refineries burning, a lot of people are saying we want Iran for the oil. Boy, were they wrong. This is a long term. So honestly, the professor is calling it the G word. He's saying that this is a long term plan to G word the Iranians. Because with this oil refinery being blown up, they're saying acid rain is falling. They're saying it's all kind of smog, and these folks are going to get cancer. The cancer might not show up for 10 to 15 to 20 years, like in large chunks of the population, but they're saying that this may be the play, allegedly. Blowing that up, man. Y'all see the clouds, y'all see the smoke, you can imagine the smog. They said that's ripe grounds for cancer. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They also are saying there's acid rain going on. What's up, Big Niche? You said the price of oil, petrol going up in the UK. I seen somewhere, where was that at? Chat. I don't know the damn flag. I can't think of. It was $8 somewhere. I seen gas was like $8.70 in one of these countries. They want to put a central bank in Iran. I didn't know that, Gito. They wanted to put a central bank in Iran. It's not uranium, it's gold, the only heavy metal that the U.S. wants. The U.S. really wants copper right now as well. What's up, FBA? All right, chat, let's get into it. Let me finish reading the rest of my notes that I have right here. Okay, so this is what he said. He clarified on Axios. It could mean destroying Iran's military so they can't fight any longer. So that's what Trump is saying. He wants to destroy Iran's military so they can't fight any longer. Well, we know that the foreign ministers came out and said Iran's ready to fight this for years. He said he's ready for the conflict to go on. We seen him say it. Lindsey Graham's out here talking about we're going to blow the hell out of Iran. Saying Iran's regime is on death row. They just announced a new supreme leader. I don't know if they call him the Ayatollah or what, man, but I know he's the supreme leader, supposed to be one of the old Ayatollah's sons. And this is like the third one that they've put in place, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Trump is pretty much not going on that. Let's see, man. So yeah, there's no off ramp visible. There's no off ramp visible at all. Like, cause if Trump backs out, he's gonna look weak. Unconditional surrender. He puts boots on the ground. That's gonna be crazy. I don't know. Or we just blow the fucking money. We just blow the money. A lot of analysts are saying that this is to bring down inflation. It's taking so much money out of circulation and it's just going nowhere. Every time a missile blows up, that's $1 million that's just gone. Every time, something big gets taken out, that's, couple $100 million that are just gone. I don't know, man. I don't know, Chad. We're going to get into it. What's up, Delphine? You said think of all the gold Saddam had collected. I don't know about Saddam and his gold, man. I don't know about Saddam and his gold, man. Yes, I believe that's in Tehran. Which country is the U.S. fighting? Iran. The U.S. is fighting Iran. The U.S. is fighting Iran. Let's get into it though, chat. Let's get into some of these what's going on. Let's check out the new Supreme Leader. I'm not gonna lie, these guys kind of look very similar. I guess it's his son, so he would look similar. Oh, y'all can't hear it? Y'all can't hear nothing? Y'all don't hear any of that? Is it low or do you not hear it at all? Y'all don't hear it at all? I be hating when this shit go on. I get the hate when this shit go on. Let me know if y'all can hear it now.
For hereditary succession,
Y'all probably can't hear
he
it.
does really have support with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. That's key because they're the military. They enforce this, and he had their backing.
All right, there we go. What about right now? Y'all can hear it now, huh?
Let's talk a little bit about how a new Supreme Leader
I got it on browser. Y'all got to be able to hear it.
And I'm just going to give a little bit of information here that CBS News has compiled that we have reported on here on CBS News.
That mean y'all didn't hear the damn intro. Why didn't nobody tell me they didn't hear the intro? Y'all see how this shit work? How y'all gonna wait till we get all the way to a clip and y'all didn't hear the damn intro?
24/7. And the process was established in 1979. This is when Iran's new theocratic government was put into place. It's only been used one other time, and that was to elevate Khamenei as Iran's second ever supreme leader. That was after the death of the Islamic Republic's founder, Ayatollah Khamenei. If at any point you want to interject, Courtney, you are absolutely welcome to. Now, Khamenei didn't meet clerical requirements as laid out in Iran's constitution for the role at the time, but he was still Khomeini's preferred successor. So the constitution was actually adjusted to allow for Khamenei's ascension. Now, currently, Iran, I guess prior to today, prior to a new supreme leader being chosen, Iran was being run by a temporary leadership council made up of the current president, the head of its judiciary, and a senior cleric from the Guardian Council.
What's up, Case? What's up, Tinky?
That process of picking a new supreme leader is undertaken by the 88 clerics sitting on the Assembly of Experts, supervised by Iran's constitutional watchdog known as the Guardian Council. So the council also approves all candidates for the position before the Assembly of Experts weighs in. The Assembly clerics decide on the final choice based on what you and I have been talking about: political experience, religious qualifications.
Right, and this we reported on this earlier this week that his son was going to be the leader.
Saddam was the big homie, and Osama and Saddam really was big homies over there around that time. Now we had the Ayatollah. You know, I'm gonna keep it all the way honest with you. If you want to be honest, the Ayatollah had more reach than Saddam or what's the guy's name? Osama. Because the Ayatollah was on Twitter, bro. The Ayatollah was going viral on Twitter, bro. Like, so he was getting his damn message out to. Back then, I didn't know what the fuck Saddam was saying, man. They would drop them videos, be talking whatever language, man. I didn't know about them damn videos and shit. Man, but when the supreme leader, the Ayatollah, was tweeting on Twitter X and shit, that shit was translated perfectly. We knew exactly what the fuck he was saying.
And then it seemed like the Assembly of Experts was actually having a problem coming to agreement. And there's a couple of really big, strong, powerful families. One is the Khamenei family. Another is the Larijani family and the Rafsanjanis. And under this Islamic regime, there's also billions of dollars that goes towards what they call the revolution, the revolutionary zealotry. Not their words, mine. And so the Larijani family, Ali Larijani, who's really taken a senior position of influence recently, and we've really seen ascend to that again within the last year or so. He wanted his brother, who's more of a religious figure, more of a cleric, maybe would be considered more of that kind of theological credentials, according to them. And Khomeini, Mujtaba Khomeini, was always considered that he might be the successor of his father. His father was very old. He was 86. They were expecting that they would be naming a successor, not under these kind of circumstances.
Certainly. One thing that's interesting
Yeah,
is, we
OG,
talked
that's the new
about
supreme
the
leader.
Guardian Council and the Assembly clerics, but the power is limited because the Supreme Leader-run Guardian Council controls who could be elected to the Assembly. So it's not like these are two independent bodies.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, Chad. How long y'all think he gonna last, man? Shit, man, I ain't gonna lie, Chad. I bet he might have 2 weeks, bro. 2 weeks, man, maybe 3.
Right?
Well, there's actually a constitution.
Till they drop a drone strike wherever the hell he's at, man, and turn that bitch into a parking lot, man. It's crazy, bro. Like, this guy is the third, man. It's the third one in like a couple weeks, man. They might turn him into some jello, bro. I'm not gonna lie, Chad.
Constitution, the Islamic Republic's constitution, which had has an Article 111, who then put in these three leaders that you mentioned for the interim, the president and the head of the judiciary, who's really considered a hardliner, and a cleric. And we thought it might be the cleric that was on this 3-person intermediate government official leadership in the last week. And then we saw that the Assembly of Experts, they did not meet in person this time. Their headquarters has been destroyed. And so they have announced this, and we saw, according to the official state TV, that is an alliance with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, too. This is really an end to any thought that there's going to be any kind of diplomatic solution, because Khamenei, like his father, is a hardliner. He's not open to diplomacy. It would be a very, very, it would be like a real, take a real right turn if he was to.
Tiaz, what can you tell us?
I think this is not surprising, but in itself extraordinary. Mujtaba Khamenei is the son of a man who was assassinated by the U.S. just over a week ago, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who has loomed over Iran for decades. He is, of course, seen as a continuity candidate. He is somebody who has worked in the shadows, again, through his father's office. That in itself gave him extraordinary influence. He is known to be very close to the Revolutionary Guard, and that in itself is very important for anybody who's running Iran. But the reality is that Mujtaba Khamenei, although he's well known, has never held public office, has never given a speech publicly, and is now the supreme leader of a country of 90 million people who is currently being bombed by the United States and Israel. And speaking of the United States and Israel, I can't think of a single candidate who would be considered more antagonistic to President Trump and to some degree Israel than Mujtaba Khamenei. President Trump has made it clear himself that if it is Mujtaba, who he described as a lightweight, that he would not, quote, last very long in the job, essentially insinuating that Mujtaba will basically suffer the same fate as his father. But Mujtaba Khamenei is an interesting character because if you consider the dynastic politics of the region, it is very established. But Iran has fought against it, at least since the end of the Shah, because the whole point was to have a theocratic country that was ostensibly a democracy, which of course it wasn't. The supreme leader always had power, but they had elections and he would choose who would win, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that they've decided to go down this path, understanding that the way it would echo a monarchist past reasserting itself in this new way is very clear that the IRGC wanted to signal to the world and to the people that the system remains intact, and they are not going to do what Donald Trump wants or what Israel wants. And I think this brutal conflict that we're watching unfold on our screens right now, certainly on the ground being felt in Iran and elsewhere across
the involvement of other Gulf countries, and also how people...
All right, let's move on from there, man. Let's move on from that, chat. Let's see this Caroline press conference. I didn't see Caroline press conference on yesterday. Let's go see what the hell she was talking about, bro.
Hey guys. Hi Caroline. Carol, how are you? Good. How are you doing? Good, Monica. How are you? Good. You're getting close to your due date, and so am I. Hi everybody, good to see you out here. It's a busy day here, as you all know. The president will be meeting with defense contractors here at the White House in a few minutes with Secretary Hegseth. This is a pre-scheduled meeting, and the purpose of it is to talk about the president's aggressive and fierce support for rapidly increasing the ability of U.S. manufacturers to produce American-made weapons, which we know are the best in the world. The president signed an executive order on this earlier this year. This is a long-held policy objective of this administration, and so he'll be speaking directly with these defense contractors. But of course, as the president has maintained, we have more than enough ammunition, weapons, stockpiles to achieve the objectives of Operation Epic Fury and beyond. After that, you'll be hearing from the president directly at 4 p.m. in the East Room at the College Sports Roundtable. We have coaches, and we have scholars, and we have athletes from around the country who will be joining. I know some lawmakers will be up there as well. President, again, a long-sought goal is to fix college sports, and so he'll be holding a roundtable to hear from all of these great people in the this afternoon, and you'll see him up there as well. Why don't we take a few questions? Sure.
Thank you very much. The president said that we're not going through all of this so that we can end up with another Khamenei, and he also said that we can keep this up forever. Does that mean that this current mentality in Iran remains in place? You're going to have to keep doing the fight.
I won't get ahead of the president on broadcasting any timelines. What I will tell you is what President Trump has already laid out, which is that the achievable objectives of Operation Epic Fury we expect to last about 4 to 6 weeks, and we are well on our way to achieving those objectives. Annihilating Iran's navy, we know that we've shrunk.
Okay, Chad, so I got some live updates right here as well. They're saying the U.S. orders embassy staff to leave Saudi Arabia after Iranian strikes. The United States says it's ordering embassy staff to leave Saudi Arabia after Iran launched strikes on the kingdom in retaliation for attacks by Washington and Israel, making a sharp escalation in regional tensions. So they're getting the hell out of the embassy
Sunk
in
more
Saudi
than 30
Arabia.
Iranian vessels and ships. Their navy has now been deemed combat ineffective, taking out the ballistic missile threat that Iran posed to the United States and our troops and bases in the region. We have done a tremendous job. The United States military has done a tremendous job at achieving that objective thus far. Just 6 days in, the retaliatory ballistic missile strikes from Iran are now down 90%. Of course, ensuring Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon as well, and significantly weakening their proxies in the region, which we know are responsible for the deaths of Americans. And we've seen Hezbollah and the Houthis hardly putting up a fight over the course of the last 6 days. Ultimately, the president has made it very clear he wants to take out the threat of Iran to the United States, and Operation Epic Fury is well on its way to doing that. As for the future of Iran, as the president has pointed to, of course it's in the best interest of the United States of America for Iran to no longer be led by a radical terrorist regime that chants death to America and is lying to the United States and the world about their secret ambitions to possess a nuclear bomb. President Trump does not want to see that. He wants to take an interest in pursuing who the next leader of the Iranian country is going to be, and that has yet to be seen, and the president is discussing it in deliberation.
Yeah, they just picked a new leader of the Iranian country, and it's the Ayatollah's son. Gas is $110 per barrel, so they're saying that should push us to $357 per barrel. I believe today it was $345. So, and like I said, that was around $104 a barrel. Now they talking about $110 per barrel. Yeah, gas is finna push up some more tomorrow. This shit is crazy.
Kristen.
You just said on Fox that it doesn't really matter if Russia is giving Iran information about military assets.
What I meant, Kristen, and thank you for giving me a chance to make it very clear, is that it clearly is not making a difference with respect to the military operations in Iran, because we are completely decimating them. As I said earlier, we've taken out nearly 30 of their ships. Their Navy has been deemed combat ineffective. 90% reduction in ballistic missile retaliatory strikes against the United States and our Gulf Arab and partners in the region. So, of course, we are achieving the military objectives of this operation, and that is going to continue because the United States military is the best and most lethal fighting force in the world. Sure, go ahead, Benny.
Can you confirm if U.S. has taken full control over the airspace in Iran, like it's been reported these past couple days? Trump said within hours, within days. Can you confirm anything along those lines?
Yes, we are well on our way to doing so.
Caroline, has the president's faith in...
All right, Chad. So over the last 8 days, they're saying Iran missile and drone launches over the first 8 days of conflict. They're saying in total, Iran has launched 810 missiles and 1,245 drones. The most missiles, ballistic missiles, 350 were launched on the first day, and I believe 15 were launched on today. With drones, the most drones peaked at on the second day with 541 drone launches on day 2, and today it was 12 drone launches.
Russia to cut a peace deal with Ukraine been shaken by the knowledge that
What's up, Top Cat?
Russia is apparently supplying intelligence to Iran in this conflict?
I think the president would say that peace is still an achievable objective with respect to the Russia-Ukraine war. You saw Special Envoy Witkoff put out a tweet yesterday announcing a new prisoner exchange between both Russia and Ukraine. So it's something this administration still wants to see, and something I know the president will continue to work on.
Has he expressed any frustration to Putin about this intelligence?
I'll let the president speak on that directly. Mary.
What does the president mean when he calls for unconditional surrender? Is he saying that the regime has to fully relinquish control?
What the president means is that when he, as commander-in-chief of the U.S. Armed Forces, determines that Iran no longer poses a threat to the United States of America and the goals of Operation Epic Fury has been fully realized, then Iran will essentially be in a place of unconditional surrender. Whether they say it themselves or not, frankly, they don't have a lot of people to say that for them, because the United States and the state of Israel have completely wiped out more than 50 leaders of the former terrorist regime, including the supreme leader himself.
Monica. Thank you, Caroline. The president had a July 4th deadline for the One Big Beautiful Bill. Does he see a deadline for the Save America Act, as I know that's a priority of his to get passed?
As soon as possible, I know the president would say. This is a huge priority for the president. It remains one. I know he has added on some priorities to the Save America Act in recent days, namely no transgender transition surgeries for minors. We are not going to tolerate the mutilation of young children in this country, and no men in women's sports. And the president putting all of these priorities together, it speaks to just how common sense they are. These are all common sense priorities of this president that are backed by the vast majority of Americans, and he wants Republicans to act on them as quickly as possible.
Thank you. Ken Paxton laid out some conditions yesterday, saying that he would drop out of the race if Senate leadership on the Republican side agreed to getting rid of the filibuster, for example. What are the president's thoughts on that?
Well, what the fuck is Ken Paxton gonna do? If he drops out the Cornian, what is he gonna do? They're saying that they didn't want to show the sexual misconduct over in Congress because of some shit Cornian had going on, allegedly.
I won't get ahead of the president on the Texas Senate race. I know it's of great interest to everyone. I'm no longer his political spokesperson. I'm a government spokesperson, so I'll let him speak on that directly.
You elaborated on the president's decision to tap Markwayne Mullin as the next DHS secretary. Can you talk a little bit about the rationale for the choice, why Mullin was the best candidate in his eyes, and also your message to congressional Democrats who continue to keep the DHS unfunded?
Yeah, well, Senator Markwayne Mullin has been a strong friend of the president and a big supporter of the president
president's immigration policies. Not only that, he's exceptionally talented, qualified, and I know well respected by his peers on Capitol Hill from both sides of the aisle. So we look forward to his expeditious confirmation, and I know the White House will be working with our counterparts in the Senate to make that happen as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Caroline. The president has said he wants to be involved in Iran's future. He has also called the son of Supreme Leader Khamenei a lightweight, and he has also said that United States strikes have taken out the potential candidates. So does the United States now have any candidates, or like looking at candidates who may replace, who may lead Iran for the future?
I know there's a number of people that our intelligence agencies and the United States government are looking at, but I won't get any further on that. Sure.
Is the president satisfied with the pace of the investigation into whether the U.S. military did hit that Iranian school? Is the White House concerned that this was the United States?
Again, as I said at the briefing 2 days ago, I don't have any updates with respect to the investigation. I would expect those to come from the Pentagon. Sure, Haley.
That the U.S. was operating in the region of the school.
Again, I don't have any updates for you on the investigation. Those will come from the Pentagon directly. Haley.
Does the president believe Russia should face repercussion for providing intelligence to the Iranians to target the U.S. military?
Again, I'll let the president speak on that directly.
Do you have any comment,
Sure.
Caroline, do you have any comment on the MAGA influencer divide on the Iran war? It seems like everything on X is everybody's going at each other. Any message to both sides of the aisle?
I would just remind people X is not real life. This president lives in the real world. And with respect to MAGA, President Trump is the leader of MAGA. He's the creator of the MAGA movement. And there is nothing more America first than taking out terrorists who have maimed and killed our own servicemen and women, who chant death to America and who pose a threat to the homeland. And so President Trump is a leader of the peace through strength foreign policy doctrine. He attempted...
Chad, do you support this war in Iran? Yes or no? Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We're 20 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Do you support this war in Iran? Was it the right thing to do at the right time?
Peace through diplomacy, exhaustively and extensively with the rogue Iranian regime. And so they have been struck with the strength and the sheer might and will of the United States Armed Forces. And President Trump has proven he's a man of his word. If you go back and look, not just over the past year as president, but in his first term and in many years in his private life as well, when he has said that the Iranian regime can never obtain a nuclear bomb, well, now he's finally acting on it, and he has the courage to do what so many presidents in the past did not. We'll see you guys later.
All right, man. I've been over here on X just trying to fill it out, see what people are saying. So let's get into it. Let's see if I can pull up a couple of these posts. Before we get into something else, we're gonna get into Discord here in a minute too, Chad, and have this debate. Somebody told me I got the wrong read on this situation. I don't know. But look, this guy right here says Trump is in for a real fix here. He miscalculated the Iran war big time. He is potentially looking at $6 a gallon gas and 7% inflation going into the midterms. All he had to do was nothing. Tariffs. Hold on. Damn, I lost the post, chat. Oh, there it goes. Tariffs. Plus, this is just his own goals. Nothing pisses Americans off more than gas being over $4.50 a gallon. I'm not gonna lie, it's about $2.50 for me, chat. Once shit get over $2.50, I get the, you know what I mean, looking around. At $6 a gallon, that's just rage. So yeah, man, all of that touting, how the economy's better and gas is down, that shit's out the fucking window, chat. We probably won't see under $3 gas no more this year. It's over with, man. It's over with. Shit's supposed to be a prolonged conflict, man, and it makes so much sense. It makes sense, man. Whether you want to go with the angle of suspending the elections, if you want to go with the angle of inflation and just burning off this fucking cash that we printed, either way, it's some long-term shit. We're sold out, chat. Sold the fuck out, man. It's over with. Sold out, man. All of they blew up the oil refinery. All those people are gonna have long-term effects, man. Kids breathing in that shit. Oh my God, bro. This shit is crazy, bro. This shit is crazy, chat. I'm not gonna lie to you. How do y'all feel about it, chat? How do y'all feel about $6 a gallon gas? What are y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna ride scooters, bikes? Have y'all, thought of any alternatives? What's gonna go on? Shit is crazy. Let me pull up this video of Sneeko and fucking Nick Fuentes. Professor Chang did another show today too with Sneeko. I wanted to watch that, but I really want to get in the Discord and talk with you guys. So if y'all want to join up in the Discord
justification
now,
for this.
if y'all want to join up in the Discord now and we can break this down and have this talk about this episode, y'all can join up in the Discord and the voice chat and we'll get this shit together.
Wars, they keep saying that Khomeini killed 30,000 protesters. The CIA director in Trump's first administration, Mike Pompeo, said himself that these protests were infiltrated by CIA Mossad. Is this true?
Totally.
Oh, shit. That's what we have to talk about. I didn't talk about the damn bombing, man. They was trying to bomb some shit over there in Mom Donnie's New York City, chat, and they found an IED or something, bruh. Like 3 of them bad boys, man. They found like 3 IEDs over there, man. What's going on? Is it a PSYOP? Chat, is that a PSYOP or is it for real, man? I'm just trying to see, man. Trying to see where y'all mind at. We just had the damn guy from synagogue go over there on 6th Street and shoot that motherfucker up. I'm not supposed to be cussing. Dang, that's why we shadow ban. But yeah, he shot it up.
Fake, and I think that history will show that what happened in January was some kind of Kurdish CIA Mossad operation. They have the United States degrade and bomb Iran, go after its nuclear facilities, and now...
What's going on, Cher? Can you hear me? Oh, shit. What's going on, Cher? Can you hear me? Cher. My mic moving, she can hear me. She just muted.
Now what you're seeing is basically the beginning of the end of this 50-year campaign to confront and overthrow Iran. And that is what it has always been about. Everything else, nukes, protesters, the Kurds, the Yazidis, the genocide, all that other stuff is just a pretext. All that other stuff is just a big fat excuse to do what Israel always wanted to do, which is annihilate anyone that rivals their interests in the region. We didn't even get Maduro's government to agree to an unconditional surrender. So that scares me. That sounds like nuclear talk. That sounds like we're gonna nuke them until they beg for...
Cher, you here?
I'm here.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna watch a little bit of this while other people load up in the Discord, man. We are in the Discord right now. Dorsey, Top Cat, y'all want to jump in here? Steve, I know Miss VR, a couple other people are, looking around, but we in the Discord. We just gonna keep the cursing to a minimum, man. No F-bombs and all of that. No, keep this shit with some decorum tonight, because we trying to get out this shadow ban.
For mercy. Yeah, that makes me nervous. When they say unconditional surrender, that's a very technical term. That's not rhetoric. That's a technical term in war. I have the sneaking suspicion that Trump wants to use one. Netanyahu comes to the White House December 29th. Epstein files come out. Netanyahu returns to the White House in February. We go to war on Purim.
On Purim,
on the
right.
Jewish holiday
During
of Purim, which
Ramadan
commemorates, it commemorates their slaughter of the Iranians. Their slaughter of 7...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, chat. Now that we're talking about Ramadan and Purim and all of that, I'm not Muslim, chat. I'm not Muslim, man. I got some Muslim friends, but what Jake Lang is doing, bro, like, what the fuck made Jake Lang want to take a whole pig to Mom Donnie's office, like a roasted pig outside of his house? Like, this is where it's like getting just fucking weird, bro. Like, dude is fucking just weird with that shit. Like, at first it was like, oh, he's doing it and with the bacon and out at the protest. But it's like, at this point, bro, like, if somebody hurt you, man, like, you was just hemmed up over there in Minnesota, damn, begging people to get you the fucks home safely and shit. Now you watching through New York, Ramadan, trying to incite a riot and just piss people off. I don't know, bro. I don't know. This might be one of those fuck around and find out moments for Jake Lang. It might just be a fuck around, find out moment for him. Go ahead.
75,000 Persian.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I was cussing a lot. My bad, Carlos. I am supposed to stop cussing so much. That pissed me off, though. Go ahead. Chill.
No, that's nuts. That's a different level. He really did that? I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, he roasted out there, went and cooked a whole pig in front of Mom Donnie's house, and then was like parading it through the streets, going to his office like during the middle of Ramadan. It's like it's childish at this point. It's like Jack Lang is just a big ass kid to me now. Like at first I was like, okay, but I mean, I guess he's getting paid from his social media, so he's trying to go viral and it's just doing more and more. But he's like a big ass kid to me, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not, obviously, I'm not Muslim, but I still, like, you're supposed to, like, that's not a fruit of the spirit. I'm not 100%. I'm not perfect. I'm not, I know I'm not, but, you know, you're not going to prove a point doing that. You can represent yourself better than doing that. How are you going to prove a point doing that?
It's just crazy, man. It's like, it's like, man, at this point, you're asking for it, you know, and that's where we're at in this society. Like, we're in 2026. Like, back in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s and shit, when you ask for some shit, you got your ass handed to you. You got what you asked for. Now in 2026, it's like people can ask for this shit and then, you know, like, oh, you're so violent, or oh, I told you that they were violent. Well, I mean, and when did we come to the point as a society where a good ass whooping just was the worst thing in the world? Sometimes people just need their ass whooped, bro. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Yeah. I'm going to be honest, but I'm not going to be bad. I'm going to be honest, but I'm not going to be bad. This is one of those things where don't tell me words are violent, okay? But I'm going to be honest, but I'm not going to use violent words, okay? Here's the thing. They say words are violent, okay? Certain words can push you to violence, but they're not. But then they say that spanking your child is violent, but discipline is bad. But then they've lost where there's a line. Sometimes you just need to discipline your child, or you get behavior like this. Because children that are not disciplined, like this is even biblical, children that are undisciplined grow into adults that are disrespectful and don't respect anybody at all, ever. You know, to where you can't tell anybody anything. And even if you state a fact, you know, then it's just, this world is just, it's just so asinine. It's
That's the thing.
asinine.
It's see, when this is the thing with it. It's kind of like when we're having these convos, like, I understand that people do run from some conversations, but it's always a way to say things too. It's not always what you say. Sometimes it's how you say it. And a lot of these tough conversations people say that they want to have, they start off with a derogatory or just a negative tone with it. It's like, hey, if we're gonna have a convo, let's have a convo, but don't come into the convo in bad faith. And I think a lot of these people coming into these conversations in bad faith. One example I would give is the blacks are violent. You know the thing. Like, okay, even with Steven Crowder and other people, they have their convo. And it's like, I'm not saying blacks are or aren't violent, you know, but if they want to go to the numbers and the statistics, we go to the numbers and the statistics. But myself as a black guy, when I bring up, you know, touching kids and shit, I bring up those statistics. It's just the end of the conversation. They don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's just, oh, it's not this or that. But Tim Tebow came out this week and exposed it that 70% of these people downloading child porn are fathers, white male fathers. White male fathers. 70% of the people actively downloading child porn right now are white male fathers. But when I bring that out, it's just, you know, numbers don't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. This is what I'm saying, like with labeling people. You don't want to label people because the statistic doesn't make the person. Does this make sense? The you don't want to judge a person on what you see. You want to judge the person on who they show you they are.
Well, I'm going to say this too. The reason I say that to say this is that that's where we get into these Epstein files. That's where we get into these crimes against children, and nobody gets in fucking trouble. You wonder why? Well, when you look at the data, it tells you why. Who's running the country? Let's be fucking honest here. Let's be honest here. That's why it's like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you get in more trouble for having a 3.5 of some crack cocaine than you do fondling a child. Makes no sense, does it? But when you look at the data, it makes all the sense.
So wrong. So wrong.
But yeah, let me see. You said what's my views? What's my views on what, Kate's? Shell's up here as well. If y'all want to join the Discord, y'all can join in on the combo. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this clip, but I'm gonna take some more comments. You said what's my view? Yeah, I gotta know on what, Kate. What do you want my opinion on? You said my tax goes to the Jays. Taxes go to a lot of things. Yeah, right now a lot of it's going, it's getting burnt, in the Middle East right now.
Well, and hopefully not to the Rock.
I mean, it's going to war.
Right.
Yes,
well,
it's a few things going on at the same time. So
yeah, I know.
they anointed Trump, quote unquote, quotations, but we gotta go back to before that. We gotta go back to when they sacrificed their red heifer. Remember, everybody, me and you were talking about it, Shell. Everybody said we were fucking tripping and we didn't know what we was talking about.
No.
But that man said it. He said, everybody thinks this is a fake sacrifice, but it's the real deal.
I told you.
Now we see them talking about building the third temple, and we got war in Iran and Acts 2:7 playing out in our face, right? So it's a lot of things happening at the same time. America does have crazy inflation. War is a way to, burn off that excess printed ass fucking money. Trump knows that they're gonna lose the fucking midterms. War is a way that they could spend the midterms. Netanyahu's country, they got things that they want to do. They want the greater Israel. They want to, push everybody the hell out, do what the hell they need to do. So a lot of things are all coinciding and working together. It's all about where do you want to place the blame? Because it's all working. We got the money's being burnt. So that could be that's a driving factor. Israel doing what the hell they want to do, that could be a driving factor. Also, Trump knows that it's looking fucking bad out here, man. Gas is about to hit $5, bro. Gas about to hit $5. Nobody's been held accountable for the Epstein files. 2 Americans are shot in the fucking face. They're saying Kristi Noem got a promotion, a fired promotion. It's just too much going on. It's a lot going on.
Hey, Plug, you want me to drop another truther for you?
What's up?
A big one? I'm gonna try to say it to where you don't have an issue with your channel, but have you looked into the last name of the real last name of the Biebs? Of the Bibbs?
Nah, I haven't.
Do you know that the last name is not his real last name?
I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't have their real true names. Honestly,
Oh no! I'm just saying.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'm just saying
it is not. It's Polish.
Oh yeah, we talk about that a lot. Yeah, Top Cat speaks on that a whole lot. Top Cat speaks on that a whole lot. So yeah, I was familiar with that.
Yep.
You said Trump said he okay with children getting surgery as long as parents consent.
No.
Trump's out his fucking mind if he said that. Trump drunk as hell if he said that. Man, somebody go get the whiskey. The fuck is Trump talking? Excuse my language. What is Trump talk? Carlos, what do you mean Trump said he's okay with children getting trans surgery as long as the parents okay? I know he didn't say that. Oh, I know he didn't say that, man. Oh my gosh, man. I just know he didn't say that. Yeah, I think Carlos lying, man. Carlos gotta be lying, man. Trump didn't say them kids could get a surgery, man. Y'all not gonna put that on Trump. Carlos, you just talking now. Let me play some of this clip while y'all fact check that. You said he absolutely did. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: Trump might be a little drunker than we thought, man. If Trump said that shit, I don't know how he got a base anymore. He's just pissing all over his fucking base. If Trump said that, he's pissing all over his base, bro. Like no new wars. The only thing he stood on business on was the fucking shutting the border down in. If he's with this trans surgery shit, man, I guess it wasn't about the kids. I keep telling y'all it's not about the kids. It's about the fucking money. And what was it? Trans women in sports was the problem. Why? Because of the fucking money. The gambling. The fucking money. It wasn't fair anymore. What's up, Carlos? You said
And he
Trump
did say
said
that. He tried to put it in the SAVE Act. I posted it in the Discord.
You said, why worry about somebody else's kids? Because they're kids, hell. What the fuck is we talking about? Why worry about some? So if you see somebody beating their damn child, I'm talking about bloody, black-eyed, right in the middle of the street, are you going to keep that same energy? You're not going to worry about somebody else's child? They're just getting scored, drug in the damn street. You going to keep that same energy? Hell no. So why you keeping the same energy with them cutting this little boy nuts off? What the fuck are we talking about? Go ahead. Sorry, Carlos, you here, but nah, tell me what he said.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm trying to hear what he said here. You the one said that he care about, that he don't care. Now Carlos scared. Carlos, where you go?
Trump tweeted the
Oh, what you say? Tell us what went on, Carlos. We trying to catch up. Man, Carlos keep muting his mic. Shell, are you here? Man, maybe that's me. Maybe that's my shit. Hold on, let me leave.
I don't know if you can hear us or not.
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I can't hear Shell though. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. All right, go ahead, Carlos.
Oh,
You
okay.
got the
All
floor.
right. I was
Carlos,
like, okay.
Carlos, yeah, what you
So,
talking about?
all right. So here's what I'll say. Because we've been told for years about the whole trans agenda, okay, and why should we care about anybody else's kids? Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say about this. Okay. Maybe this is the absolute perfect time for us to have this
Man,
conversation.
hold on, Shell. Terry said trans is a choice, weirdo. No, some of these parents force their kids into that, man. We not just gonna say all of this shit is a choice. Some of these parents, some of these doctors, some of these teachers, some of this shit is forced on these kids, man. Motherfuckers getting kickbacks and all kind of shit. This is pharma, man. What are we talking about here, man? You never heard of a motherfucker? Excuse me, you ain't never heard of a kickback, Terry? Man, this is big money going on. This incentive for this shit. Bobby, my Discord, it's on my community tab wall. Mods, drop the Discord. Thank you, Cypher. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, and I can also speak to this from the medical side too, because I've seen doctors get kickbacks from the inside for things. So here's what I will say. We've been told forever that, why do we care about anyone else's kids? Well, first and foremost, I can tell you, working in pediatrics, I can tell you exactly why we should care about other people's kids, because there's sometimes parents don't care about their kids. Sometimes parents do manipulate situations with their kids. I've seen it on the front lines. I've seen it where we've had to step in to help. Okay. I've also seen where it took advocation from the outside to save a kid. Okay. And now we've got the outside saying, "Oh, don't worry about it. Let's just Let's just nurture the problem. Okay. But now you're saying, oh, don't worry about it. It's no, no. It is a big deal. And here's why. Because now we have an administration that's released files that show that there is an issue with children being killed.
Everything
Okay.
done to
Yeah,
unalive.
everything. They're just
Hold
everything. I'm
on.
not
Let
going to
me
say it.
get
Sorry.
this right.
Unalived.
Let me get
Unalived.
this
I'm
right.
sorry.
Shit. Hold on. Deplorable. Stop calling Carlos an illegal because he a mod. And if he get your ass up out of here, it ain't gonna be much I can do about it because you personally attacking him when yeah, y'all could just disagree about what y'all disagree about. But if he get you up out of here, deplorable, you gonna have to, it's Sunday, so I unblock you tonight. But damn, you gonna have to wait a while. Go ahead.
Mhm. So what I can absolutely tell you is that kids are the most vulnerable population, okay? Because they can only do so much. You've got the parents that are supposed to protect them, teachers that are supposed to protect them, doctors that are supposed to protect them. And if none of those people do that, okay, then they become the victims. And if they're victims and none of these safety walls do any of that, and then you get the legal system that don't protect them, then they will isolate into the problem.
We're gonna let children.
Okay.
All right, don't worry about it. Hey, deplorable, you can just swipe up,
That's
man. Hold on, deplorable talking shit, talking about get me up out of there than many other chats. Well, carry your ass to one of them other chats, deplorable. Get the fuck on, man. Go ahead, shit. You can come back tomorrow. It
so.
is what it is. I ain't gonna block you.
So here's what I will say is that you can have a choice. If you're an adult, have a choice. We'll pray for you, okay? But when you go after the children and you think that nobody should protect the children, we will be the group that will go out and protect the children. And you can hate on us all you want, hate away, okay? We'll pray for you, all right? Because for generations, the people that have stepped up to try to protect the kids, we haven't been able to do it because there have been people out there telling us not to protect the kids. And then we have all these kids go missing. And then we find out in these files what have happened to kids. Okay. And now you're saying that we're just supposed to let these kids that are children that haven't even hit puberty just go slice and dice and block their hormones. And then, they end up making permanent decisions to a temporary problem later in life that you tried to stop them doing that earlier in life that they might not have done. And then they can never have children later in life. So then they make that decision later in life. It's not okay. Okay. So people need to advocate for something. You need to advocate for the lives of these people.
I'm just saying
and these
this,
kids.
Okay, let me say this because when Terry asked the question, why does it matter? I did kind of jump down it. But the actual case in point that I was making was that Trump is shitting on his base with that. Regardless of how I feel personally about it or anybody feels personally about it, Trump ran on some whole other shit.
I just posted the article in the chat on here, on the voice chat.
Okay.
He posted 4 key points in the SAVE Act. You can see the 4 key points. Now, after he got the pushback on it, he did remove it, but he did originally have it in the SAVE Act.
Okay. So with the SAVE Act, I'm gonna say this. With the SAVE Act, if he had it in the SAVE Act, I look at that as politics. They got to put something in there to make the other side, be all right. Now, should he have held the line and been like, hey, nah, this is where we draw the line? Yeah, I think so. But he didn't. You know what I'm saying? He was going, playing politics. Oh, we're trying to get this passed. We got to give them a little something. But it's like, damn, Trump, that's what you concede on the kids.
Well, the SAVE Act had nothing to do with that. The SAVE Act was for the voting stuff.
Right. And
so for him to add that into that was totally unnecessary and irrelevant.
Other than to please somebody.
Didn't he already show that he didn't care about the kids? Because he didn't go after anybody in the files, not one person. So he already showed that he didn't care about them.
Takes it back to that Tim Tebow stat. Y'all don't want to believe me here. Y'all can hear from Tim Tebow. Let me pull Tim Tebow up right quick. Y'all know Tim Tebow, good Christian man. Hold on. Find Tim Tebow right here, man.
Terry, just so you know, if your kids are in public school, they already are.
Let me find Tim Tebow, man. Here you go. Here go Tim Tebow right here, man. This is why ain't nothing happening, man. This is why they just let whatever happen to these kids, bro.
The number one offender type is biological fathers, but by far it is being done by middle-aged Caucasian men. Many, over half of them, college graduates. Many of them are educated, good jobs. This isn't just who we're thinking about. Like they're technical savvy, and I think that it is time that we call them out. Like that we can't stand by and stand back. Like we have to stand up and say, not only are we not doing our job as men, it's actually the opposite. Instead of being defenders and protectors of our families, we're hurting and abusing.
All right, man. I'll just let y'all know. That's a pretty good interview by Tim Tebow. If y'all want to sit down and watch it, we can sometime this week. But Tim Tebow actually pulled up a chart as well, like an active chart showing you exact locations
justification
of people
for this war.
Hold on. Exact locations of people that were currently downloading child porn. Like it was 338,000, I believe, people were actively downloading child porn. Like at that moment, he looked at it. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a whole
You
dark
said,
web
if that's so,
section
why
of
are
it.
you worried about kids if the government is doing that? Make it make sense. So this is why, Terry. It's because of the government facilitating it. That's why nobody gets in trouble. Do you not think it's odd, Terry, that people get in more trouble for drugs, a little bit of powder, a little bit of crack cocaine than they do for touching kids? Like, oh, what the fuck Greek are we talking about? I'm trying not to cuss. Are you gonna tell me that? Oh my gosh, bro. These are kids, bro. These people, like, I've been in a courtroom and seen people get probation for touching kids, bro.
No.
These folks don't even go to the penitentiary. They get probation. What are we talking about?
Hey, Plug, you know what I just thought of? Why this might be happening? And I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying why it might. You know how you've been talking about how you've been talking about the spiritual aspects of this, and bear with me on this. You know how and if you don't understand, if you're in the chat and you don't understand, I'm going to break it down. There is a spiritual realm. If you don't believe in it, I'm going to help prove it to you, okay? There is there is a Luciferian family that does things. There is, like, the reason, honestly, abortion is what it is. It's child sacrifice. It is what it is. It just is what it is, okay? And then there is the actual families, and we know from the Epstein files, all of that, that's all sacrifice.
You gotta,
They do it to, I
be a
know.
little,
Okay, I'm sorry.
you know
Okay,
what I mean?
they do what they do to get what they want. Okay, they do what they do to get what they want. I'm gonna try to keep it, okay? Keep it simple. All right. So in doing that, all right, perhaps the reason that it's not that what you're talking about is not punished in the way that it is because it's a lower crime in that realm. However, when you look at for example, big pharma, okay? Big pharma, all right, again, when you look at medication and how it is treated, all right, to suppress people's emotions, their side effects, all of that, it also brings the spiritual ability of a person. It opens doorways, pathways, things like that. The crime, all right, if you, for example,
Hold on,
use an
Shell.
illegal.
Hold on, Shell. Hey, Hannibal, I'm gonna need you to have a little bit of decorum in my chat. You know what I'm saying right now, because we shadow ban. You know that shit like that is why we get shadow banned too, Hannibal. You know what I'm saying? Not, just have a little decorum. You know, a little bit of you say what you want to say, but you have some damn decorum, man. You know, the algorithm picks this shit right up soon as you type it in, man. And a lot of that shit is getting me fucked over, man. We don't have nobody in here no more because shit, I'm shadow banned.
They keep saying that Khomeini
go
killed
ahead,
30,000
Shell.
protesters.
Damn, my bad.
Okay.
Go ahead,
CIA
Shell.
director in
Okay.
Trump's first administration.
So I think that when people use street drugs, okay, as opposed to pharmaceutical
Hold on.
drugs.
Hannibal, you saying don't let them suppress the truth. I ain't got no damn control over the algorithm, brother. I'm telling you that what you doing, it said the same thing to Dorsey, is I have no control over it. Just like I can't tell you to stop doing that shit unless I just time you out or something. I'm trying to be, you know what I mean? Just have a look. You know how to talk, man. You got some damn, what are they called? Some slang in you. You know how to use some damn slang. Go ahead, Shell.
Hannibal, give me a minute, baby. Come on, sweetie, schnookums. Give me 3 minutes, baby. So Plug doesn't have to yell at you. Baby, schnookums. Okay, so here we go. So I think I can't hear you, Plug.
No, go ahead. You got the floor.
Oh, okay. Okay. So here we go. So here it is. I think what happens is when people use the street drugs, they punish that more severely than the horrific ones, because the horrific ones they use as a sacrifice to the demons or whatnot. But the street drugs, if people use street drugs, then it keeps them from, they know that they're not using the drugs that they create. And if they're not using the drugs that they create, that, they do whatever they want to them, they punish those more severely, because if you're using those drugs, then you're not using their drugs.
Right.
I don't know about that.
I think it's just a whole lot simpler. It's just class based.
This is what I think it
not.
is.
But
Okay,
if you're using something that they didn't create, you got to understand it's a spiritual connotation to it.
Man,
if you're
listen,
not
I'ma
using
say
what
this.
they want you to use, then
Okay,
they're going to
Shell.
punish you more severely.
Right, listen, Shell, they don't want us to mess with kids either, because you see what happens when black folks get caught doing it. They get snowed the fuck in. It's over with. So let's just be honest right here. Hold on, let me get the floor. We got to hear Corey World and what you call it too, Carlos. What I'm gonna say is, as far as the drugs, it's because they can't tax them. Once they started taxing weed, shit was cool. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to pharmaceuticals, they're taxed. I think that the reason that they crack down so hard on that is because they're losing fucking money. And when it comes to the children, the reason that they're not getting in trouble is because they identify with those people. The judge, the lawyer, the jury, the people sitting there judging those people, they do the same shit, or they have a family member, somebody they're closely associated with them, that does, just by the numbers, does the same shit that this man is on trial for. So how can I give this man all of this time that I look like and identify with, and go home and sit next to my cousin or my brother that I know does the same shit? But I don't want, listen, hold on. But I don't want to feel too bad, right? So when somebody who kind of doesn't really look like me, they do the shit, I'm going to go extra hard on them to make up for it. That's what I see.
So I think multiple things can be true at the same time. So, like when you're talking about, okay, they got taxed or whatnot, so it became less, I think multiple factors of this can be true at the same time. I do think I think you're right. I do. I think part of what you're saying is true, but I also think part of what I'm saying is true. I think there's multiple. I don't think it's one singular layer. None of what's happening in our world right now is like one straight line.
Top Cat, we're in the Discord if you want to talk. Go ahead, Shell. Finish. You got it.
Okay. So I honestly think like for example, I think it depends on like what layer. For example, like what's happening in Seattle, like when they started distributing the drugs there. I think that that was a, the needles and everything like that. They kind of were giving things that, drugs and needles and things like that there. But then in different areas of the country, if you were to behave and, oh, like for example, where you are, Plug, you were to behave where you are the way that they are in Seattle, it would not even be, you couldn't get away with it, right? It wouldn't be permitted. So I'm just saying multiple things are
Man,
true at the same time.
okay. So I'm gonna kick it to Corey World, and we got Carlos in here too, and I think Top Cat just joined. Yeah, Top Cat just joined. But this is what I'm gonna say. Even going back to the 50s, 60s, and 70s in the South, in the specific state that I'm in, I just read up about it. There was a coalition of doctors that were telling mothers that their child passed away, not giving them a death certificate or a body, just saying that during the delivery something happened. And those children were sold. And no, they didn't find out until the DNA testing became available, and they were linked back up with their family. And the mothers were saying, "They told me you died." This is widespread, and the state will not do an investigation into it. So yeah, but we're gonna kick it to
That's
Corey
some.
World.
Damn. Are you for real? They've been doing that in the delivery. What? The what? That's crazy.
I think that happens a lot still in third world countries. That way they can
That's
put them
like
up for adoption and make money off of them.
some horror movie type. You know.
And they were selling them to
Damn.
rich families. Yep, rich families. They for tens of
Ew.
thousands of dollars. But yeah, let's hear from Top Cat. Another thing that came out in the Epstein files that they've been talking about over the last 24 is the doctors that were involved. There were a lot of doctors that were getting kickbacks, donations, and gifts from Epstein and coming to his property and performing, giving stitches and staples and OBGYN visits and all of that at his will. Like, and he would threaten to take the health care away from him and shit. So yeah, it's a lot of doctors involved in this type of ongoings. And then we seen that other doctor that was walking around his damn office jacking off on everybody. We seen that. We covered that clip over. He was just walking around the office beating off on everybody.
His name Doctor. Like, what's his name?
I forgot, man. He was just walking around his office beating off on everybody. Go ahead. We're gonna hear from Top Cat. Go ahead, Top Cat. You got the floor.
Can y'all hear me?
Yo, everybody got to mute up when Top Cat talk or his mic messes up.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in the car and see if I get some better. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say something that I always say, and it's kind of everybody's gonna see it's rhetorical, but welcome to my world. All the stuff that we're talking about is what's been going on for years, So when it comes to an aspect, just like I said, they were sterilizing women all the way until 1978. The children were being kidnapped. They were told different things, told that they had diseases, that they couldn't touch their child again when there was nothing wrong with them, and they'd never see them again. All these different things happen to certain people in society. And once it starts spreading to other people, now they're like, oh, I can't believe these atrocities. But this is the American way. This is what's been going on. And it's just now being brought to the light when it comes to the children. So it sounds rhetorical. It's true. You can look it up in every situation. Whatever you see going on now, all you gotta just look in history, and you'll find out that they've been blacking out these parts of history with certain black people. And you when people say it, they're like, "Oh no, there's no way it could have been like that. Oh, get over it. It's the past." Well, now that it's hitting you in your face, what do you have to say about it now? Now that it's your children, now that everybody has to worry about it. When these certain neighborhoods and stuff are coming together, and trying to fight these situations, they were called all kinds of different things. When the drugs and stuff were put in certain populations, those were all tests. So now that they're doing it to every single part of the population, or it's spreading to the other ones, people like what you're saying. They start on taxes, or they say, what are the reasons for these things? It's a complete point of population control. And now that population is booming in other parts of society, and they can't use you, the land is filled up. They can't use you to build what they want to build. Now they're using these things as population control.
What's up with it, Leo? We in the Discord if you want to join up. We got a couple more guests in here as well. We got a newcomer. What's how you say your name? Ryan?
I've always believed in population control. I've never
Yeah, you
doubted
all right,
that.
we'll get on that in a second.
Yeah, but I'm,
Ryan,
I
are
mean,
you
when
in
you
here?
see it
Right.
as a certain situation, like
Damn.
when you hear the
Hold on,
numbers
my
of the
bad, Chad.
deaths.
I was talking, but I was muted. Ryan, we got a new guest in here. Ryan, welcome in.
Cheers, man. How you doing? You right, yeah?
Man, we're doing well. You got the floor on. We'll let you speak on the situation or any you
Cool.
could take the convo wherever you want.
Yeah, I've got different conversation. So I just saw you just wrote that like 75,000 Iranian die. I just want to know like who killed them because I just confused because I'm Persian. I'm Iranian.
When did I put 75,000 Iranians died?
But it was just do you know the yellow notes behind like underneath the video?
Oh yeah, that's probably the YouTube putting context notes. I didn't say 75,000 Iranians died.
Ah, cool. So it's not about you. So what's your opinion on the wars happening in Iran?
Right now, I believe that it is a lot of ulterior motives working right now at the same time. I believe that Israel has their own agenda. America has their own agenda when it comes to inflation and trying to suspend the midterms. Um, I believe Israel has their own agenda when it comes to, whatever they want to do in the Middle East. And it's a global conflict now. Nobody can deny that this is the start of World War III. We just went through week one of World War III. We have so many countries involved. We have the Strait of Hamas being closed. Oil just hit $115 a barrel. Trump is spiraling out of control. The only Trump is cooked midterms. If we have a midterms, he's cooked. And if he's cooked during the midterms, his administration comes to an halt. That's why I believe that it's a lot of ulterior motives going on at once. I believe we've bitten off more than we can chew. And I believe these people are going to see it all the way through, nothing short of nuclear bombs, honestly.
Yeah, like so what I'm thinking as a Iranian, yeah. So US is just too corrupted to just saying that you have to start like you have to continue the war in Middle East as they seen like what happened to Iraq, the crisis happened, the immigrant crisis happened, all that life just blow up like nothing changed. There is a lot of like terrorist group there, and they supporting it. Like you should know better than me. Like the ISIS is just supported by Israel to just showing the Muslim community they are like a terrorist. Do you know what I mean? But they terrorists is not from the Muslim community. They are made up by Israel and to show in the media and the like civilians in US that like a Muslim people that are against them, you know. So all of that things, yeah, as you say, just leading to World War III. But your predict is like US gonna win that war or losing it.
My prediction is that it's not going to be a win or a loss. My prediction
Can
is
y'all hear
hold
me?
on.
Yeah, I can.
Hold on,
I
Top
had
Cat.
a question
Hold
for
on,
you.
Top Cat. Hold on, because he asked me a question,
Uh,
so I don't want you to take it somewhere else before I answer. And his question was, do I predict the U.S. will lose or win the war? My prediction is it won't be a loss or a win. My prediction is the world will never be the same. I believe that this is going to be the most nuclear weapons we've seen used. I do believe this is going to go nuclear, and I do believe that the fallout could could land either way. Either way, it could be bad for everybody. Everybody loses in that scenario. And I believe they're saying that there was a routine test off the coast of Cali with the missile that can carry 20 nuclear warheads, bigger than 20 Hiroshimas. I think we got the right people in office across the globe for that shit to touch down. So I'm predicting that it goes nuclear, and I hate to say that.
No, I don't think so. It's going nuclear. At least not in this point. Maybe in
Administration
couple
Mike
years,
Pompeo said
yes.
himself that these
Gonna
Oh
protests
agree
were
with you.
shit, my bad, my bad.
But no, that's fine. But what I'm thinking, cause if they wanna do nuclear, the Russians and Chinese, they're watching them so close. So they back up Iran because their interest, not for the people. Yeah. So as soon as they want to do nukes, Russia gonna say, okay, if you want to nukes, we're gonna involve as well in the nukes war. So it's gonna be lose war. So they're not gonna do it. So they are like Israel agenda is to destroy all the empires, all the power in the region and behind. Like they start dragging US to the war to just, like what they're gonna do. They're gonna spend a lot of money. They're gonna be inflation. They're gonna be like a lot of like a medication care and all of that things. You got issue guys in US. It's not gonna solve. They're gonna run away with the files
Leo, mute
that
up.
they didn't even can hear me.
Yeah, Leo got to mute his mic. He got some background noise.
My bad.
Yeah. So
I was so reacting to some ratchet shit.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
yeah.
look.
Yeah,
they're
we
gonna
in a deep
run
convo.
away
Hold on,
with
Leo. We
the
in the middle.
files.
I'm still live. We in a deep convo right now. Hold on.
I got you. We gonna talk.
Yeah, can I talk?
Nah, go ahead.
Yeah, so they're gonna run with the files, and what gonna happen? Israel wants US to lose the war in Middle East and just go away from the Middle East because it's gonna be a civilian war, like a civilian war happening in US any soon. Yeah, so they people because the people believe majority of people believe the justice system, the government is not valid anymore. It's just controlled by like other countries. Like they I'm not saying Israel only. There is a other organization, as you know, like the bigger than Israel, and they controlling like a global trade and like a politic. So they want them to US go away from the Middle East, and Israel, who's the win the war? It's not Iran, it's not US, is Israel, because they're gonna damage Iran, but they're not gonna finish Iran, but they're gonna damage a lot, because Russia gonna involve in some point, and like yeah, like the Israel is a winner. And if you see the Israel plan, even in UK, they try to isolate UK in 2015 with the Brexit. Yeah, so it's another power that they affect. They power actually. So they put Nigel Farage, which is now is coming like is kind of candidate for next election, and they put that guy, and they done the Brexit. They isolate one of the powerful empire again, and now they want to come for the immigrant crisis. So they want to do the in the division between the citizens, to
Okay.
make another civilian war there and in US, and all that things. I'm thinking like what's the solution to me is a massive protest in US to just asking
Yeah.
for justice.
Okay.
They have
All
to
right.
do it any soon because
Hold
that's a
on. Land the
World
plane,
World
right?
War
You,
Three
you
thing.
getting a little long winded. We got other guests there too. You got to land the plane. He's saying that the protest. So to hit on a couple points that you said before I pass it, we do got a new guest, Genesis. Welcome in. But to hit on a couple of points, I don't think protests gonna mean shit in America right now. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You seen how they did Renee Good and Alex Pretty. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They didn't stop the protest. Isn't what stopped Border Patrol and Homeland Security. It was the Democrats holding out funding. It's the money. So I don't think the protests will really matter. That's just my opinion. We can hear from the other guests, see how they feel. And as far as it going, nuclear, I don't really. I mean, what is Russia gonna do? Russia's gonna say they're gonna hit the U.S. with nukes? No, they'll probably do what they've been wanting to do this whole time, which is nuke Ukraine. Which Trump has already sold Ukraine the fuck out. It's over with. He already said, like, look, if Zelensky wants to fight his little heart out, he can fight his little heart out. You know, then we have Macron in France. Macron said, what? We're going to rebuild our nuclear arsenal and we're not going to disclose that to anybody in the world. Do you think Trump likes to hear that shit? Man, no. He's like, well, fuck it. If they're building the nukes to help, shit, let them help. That's my opinion. But we're going to hear from Genesis, and then I believe Top Cat had a question. Welcome, Genesis. You got the floor.
Hey, how's it going? You have a all-star panel. That's awesome.
I appreciate you, man.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. I appreciate you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I said we appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Genesis.
Very good. Yeah, we're in a mess. And we certainly saw it coming. Some of us did. We are obviously America is occupied. Nick Fuentes, you're absolutely correct. It's not Kazarians. It's been the same as far back as we have written history. Obviously, they are part of the deep state or it entirely. What astonishes me is the stark difference between the first term with Trump and the second term with Trump. And what happened in between? In between terms, he converted to Jewish Zionism. I don't know if everybody's aware of that, but he did. And it certainly seems to me like it's America last. Now, if we look at the so-called Jewish prophecies, the red heifer, the Armageddon, the Baal worship, the Moloch, the Star of Remphan that they fly on their damn satanic flag. I read that Putin intercepted a shipment of adrenochrome out of there that they estimated represented 30,000 children,
Allegedly.
not counting, of course, the
Allegedly,
skin
Chad.
and organ harvesting. So my point is that I'm concerned that their prophecy is you have to burn down everything for something new to come. They want Armageddon. They have Trump convinced. I heard that the military officials were telling their soldiers that Trump was anointed by Jesus and that they're to bring about the Armageddon. So this is crazy. I see the U.S. expending all of our missiles and stuff while China and Russia is sitting back, taking notes, watching what's going to happen when a conventional ordinance is expended. And we're getting pretty damn close.
Okay,
Is China going to jump on Taiwan?
let me answer a few of those questions. Yes, China will jump on Taiwan. The U.S. already pretty much, said it was kind of over with. They started their factory in Arizona. They plan on expanding it, using outside sources, not as many humans. So yeah, I do believe Taiwan was probably sold out a few years ago, maybe around the time of the CHIPS Act. As far as the conflict you were talking about, Trump being anointed and telling the generals that yes, of course, and they were asking in the chat, did he really convert? You seen what's that lady's name? Miriam. You seen Miriam offer him that other 250 million? Yeah, hold on. I wasn't trying to say her last name on purpose on the hill.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we live right now, and I've been shadow banned, so I'm trying to get unshadow banned. So yeah, we seen that lady offer him 250 to run, but the guy right after her came up and said, "This is America's first Jewish president," and Trump said, "I sure am." So, and when Trump was during the election cycle, a lot of you guys gave me flack because I played that clip where Trump was talking to the Christians and he said, I'm not a Christian. He said it. He said it during the campaign cycle. He said, I'm not
I
a
have his
Christian.
ceremony.
Hold on.
I
Hold
have
on.
his
Let me finish.
ceremony
Let
on
me
video.
finish. Let me
Go ahead.
finish. He said, I'm
Yep.
not a Christian. And everybody in his chat said, no, you heard it wrong, plug. He said, I am. You don't know what you're talking about. And now we're here. But I'm gonna let you finish Genesis, and then Top Cat had a question, and then we'll just open the panel back up.
Very cool. So one of the things that I'm very worried about, with Taiwan aside, Ukraine aside, Iran aside, it seems like we're being steered into America's destruction and possibly a global reset. I believe they're pushing towards Armageddon. And I believe the fact that the US runs out of conventional weapons, we get shown up by Iran, who's obviously being assisted with targeting and intelligence from Russia and probably China, that maybe it's not going to be Taiwan and Ukraine or just them. If I was China and Russia, I would come after the US because this is a once in a 1,000-year chance that we can't defend ourselves.
Yep.
And that would force our hand into nuclear, which would force about Armageddon. So I'd love to know what in the hell we can do short of going to Texas and getting rid of all those red heifers. I mean, I don't know.
This is the thing. The red
The
heifer.
red
The red
heifer's
heifer's
done.
already. The red heifer was
It's already
done last
done.
year. It was done last year. So this is the thing.
Last
Everybody,
summer.
hold on. Yeah, this is the thing. So last summer they sent 5 red heifers to Israel that were supposed to be for a practice ceremony. But the guy said that it wasn't a practice ceremony. They used a real priest, a real perfect red heifer, and they performed the real ceremony. So we're past that already. They said the reason that they had to say it was fake was because the government, quote unquote, wouldn't allow them to bring it in, which that's neither here nor there. Do you really think the government was going to stop them? You know, and he said the pastor that performed, or the whatever, I don't know the term, that performed this ceremony was never allowed to touch the ground. He was 20 something years old. He had never been outside. His house was like elevated some kind of way to where he never touched the ground. He never came outside for 20 something years. And they're like, this was not a fake ceremony. You think we just had this guy sitting in his house for over 20 years to play around? Once his feet touched those ground, it was on. It was real.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, in closing, here we are at our 250th anniversary, and short of a revolution, I don't know a way out of it.
Because how are they talking about building the third temple now? Where is the third temple talk even coming from if they haven't sacrificed the red heifer?
Right. It's the next step. It's the next step. And the thing is, you got to understand, where does the, well, think of it this way, Genesis. By the way, I'm Michelle. I'm Michelle. Nice to meet you. So think of it this way, where does the third temple go?
Right on the Temple of the Mount, the Dome of the
Right.
Rock. Sorry, the Dome of the Rock.
So it's in the way, isn't it?
Right. 3 billion
So,
Muslims are gonna have a problem with that.
well, yeah, but if it's in the way, then it's got to get out of the way. And suddenly, oh no, now there's stuff flying all around that thing in there.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So now you're seeing it, right? Revelation.
Right. I heard one of
Okay.
their rabbis talk about now
I
that
know. I
Right.
was going there, but There you go.
they're
I
famous
got
for
the
the
clip.
false
I got the
flag.
clip of the rabbi right here. Y'all want me to pull it bitch up? I'll pull it up. Hold on. Y'all don't gotta
Yeah,
hear it
pull
from
it up.
plug. I got it
Yeah.
right here. Hold on. I was gonna play
We
it
all
earlier.
on the same page up in here.
I got the clip. Hold on. Where is it?
The thing that I find very interesting is Revelation 3:9. It's been on my heart a lot lately. Revelation 3:9.
Mine is Acts 2:7. This is Acts 2:7. The sun that we just had the blood moon. We just had, man, come on, man. They did that shit.
Yeah.
They started the war 2 days before the blood moon, bro. Like this
Oh yeah,
shit
you're
is
right.
biblical.
Yeah, but it's the synagogue of Satan. Is
Agreed.
Revelation 3:9.
Here we go, right here.
They say that they are Jews, but they are not. Red
I'm trying to be
letters.
quiet, y'all.
Here we go.
Hey,
Right.
Top. Oh wait, is that Top? Who was Top?
Hold on, y'all. Be quiet. Hold on.
President Trump's right ear was grazed in a symbolic gesture of Exodus 21:6, where the Torah wants to remain with his master.
All right, I'm gonna start it over. This is a rabbi. Listen to him say it.
The current non-Jewish Messiah was chosen to be of service to the Jewish people and the Jewish Messiah. President Trump's right ear was grazed in a symbolic gesture of Exodus 21:6, where the Torah states that a servant who wants to remain with his master needs to have his right ear pierced. Trump was designated as God's servant and anointed one, just like Cyrus the Great almost 2,400 years ago. We have clarified in several videos that the absolute deadline for the redemption is by the end of the Jewish year 5787, which corresponds to October 2nd, 2027, 1,167 days from today. Thus, the redemption will surely occur during Donald Trump's tenure. And I have good reason to believe Donald Trump was chosen to be the one to redeem the sins of Esav through offering his assistance in rebuilding the Holy Temple on the Temple Mount and establishing the Jewish kingdom over all of mankind in Jerusalem. Perhaps it is no accident that the numeric value of Donald Trump in Hebrew is the same as Messiah, son of David, Mashiach ben David, 424. However, Donald Trump is mistaken if he thinks he was chosen to make America great again. He will no doubt do a lot of good things to strengthen our economy, protect our borders, and allow religious freedom to flourish. But America will never become a great country on its own, because Esav's days are numbered. All our elite institutions and centers of power and influence are rotten through and through. The majority of Americans under 30 who are college educated and who are the future leaders of America support the vicious monsters of Hamas rather than the holy and courageous soldiers of the IDF. No human being, even Donald Trump, can reverse this. No. The greatness of America does not lie in its own success. America will be great when the Messiah comes. And the leader of this country, on behalf of all the good people in this country, will humbly present himself to the Jewish Messiah and ask him to accept the United States of America into a new alliance of countries who accept the leadership of the Messiah. A new United Nations will replace the current cesspool that goes by that fraudulent name. A real United Nations, united to serve God, led by the Messiah and based in Jerusalem. And my feeling is that the United States under President Trump will be the first nation to join.
Wow. Now y'all get it. Now y'all see why we got the board of peace, the shield of alliances, and all of this to where he's the head. Because he ain't gonna be the head of this shit that they trying to do. Go ahead, y'all.
And you know, I'll just say it bluntly, because you all, if you know me, you know that I'm blunt. If you don't know who their Messiah is, biblically in the scriptures, specifically stated in the red letters, if you don't know what the red letters are, Jesus speaks the red letters in the Word of God. The Messiah, the Jewish Messiah, the one who stands, so be clear. You ever see anyone stand in the third temple that they're talking about and tell you to get a chip in you? That is the Antichrist. And do not listen to that person ever. Even if it costs you your life, because it will cost you your soul.
Right.
All right.
You know,
we're gonna give Top Cat the floor. Hold on, y'all. We Top Cat been waiting for a while. Go ahead, Top Cat.
Come on, Top. My darling. What do you got for me, baby?
Here I come, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep it. I'm not gonna try to stay long-winded because I've been letting everybody go. But I'm just gonna.
You gotta mute, Shell, or it's gonna cut him out.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna approach it from an angle. If y'all do. So we just kept hearing people say it, and they say the Jewish Messiah.
We can't hear you, Top Cat. Genesis, mute up for us. Top Cat, you muffled. We can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Is that better? All right, shit. Hopefully y'all can hear me. But basically, I was gonna say, the Romans called them Jews. So when somebody is sitting up there saying the Jewish Messiah, that's not what the Most High Creator said. That was never a name that was
What it
given
do,
to him
Rick?
by him. So why would you say the Jewish Messiah? You're saying basically the Roman name for the Messiah. So everything that he was saying was a bunch of bull crap because he identified it by not of the name of the people. It would have been an Israelite or his people. It wouldn't, or the Messiah of all the world. It wouldn't have been one specific people. That is a bloodline situation, and that would be coming from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So yes, it does relate, but just how he was speaking was wrong. And then on these revelations of these things, they're great, and they're coming through the blood moon, all these different things, and we're coming up on Passover. But it's on an aspect that all of the things have to come in coordination, and they are. I'm not going to say that they're wrong by that, but there's certain things that have to pass. There's supposed to be Gentiles that trample over the land of over his land, over the land of the bloodline. And so that would have to come to pass before. So wouldn't we think that these weren't those people if we're looking at the revelation of things that's supposed to happen? And these people are supposed to do everything to try to stop this. So that would be usurping this. That would be usurping and putting these situations there for us to look, and we are supposed to be deceived in the biggest manner first. There's a whole bunch of different things that are supposed to happen. So I believe the biggest deception is happening, and how this connects to what's going on right now. If y'all been here, you remember me talking about why are they attacking Yemen?
Let me ask you
Okay,
this,
so if
Top
we
Cat.
look at
Wouldn't
this
boots on the ground be like that if they send boots on the ground? Let's just say U.S. and a few other countries put boots on the ground in that land. Wouldn't that be what you talking about?
well, somewhat, but see, that's the whole point. Um, those would be foreign legs on the ground, boots on the ground, and then would we know what would classify them as Gentiles? Now, the people that in control of it, they're not just going to come there to
You're
do a
cutting in
certain
and
thing.
out,
They're going to be the
Top.
people.
Top, we couldn't hear you. You got to repeat what you said, darling. I'm sorry, we
All right,
couldn't hear
hey,
you.
let me go. I was in the car. Let me come out. I'm gonna go out and come back in. Y'all go ahead. I'll talk again, because right now y'all volume is low too. So let me come out and I'll come back in.
Okay, darling.
All right.
Okay, you're muted too.
No, I'm gonna play a little bit of this clip. Oh, that's Top Cat. Hold on.
Yeah.
You back, Top Cat? Go ahead. You
Are
got
you
the
back,
floor.
Top?
Yeah, I'm back. Can y'all hear me better now?
Yes, much. I'll mute up.
Yeah. All right. So basically, it's a point where these people are supposed to usurp the land, and they're supposed to be there trampling over it. So they're supposed to be the people that's there saying that they're the people that's supposed to be there, but they're not. And these are supposed to be the Goyim or the Gentiles. And they're going to be the ones that are be there, and they're saying that they're somebody, but they're not. And they anger the Medes. That's what I was going to ask Ryan, because Ryan came in here. The first thing he said that I am this and I'm Persian. And I really want to know his extent on this past the point of the stuff that we're looking at, because this is all distractions. Once you say that name, once you say I'm Persian, then I want to know what is the Persian thought on this, because that actually lies into the revelation too. But when it comes into the point of people trampling over it, there's supposed to be some people there that trick everybody in the world and start these things to happening. So we see it starting. We see these people. Why are we recognizing them as something and saying that we count on all these different revelations, but we're not looking at the point that there's supposed to be a fake people there to start all this, and then the real people are supposed to come back there, and then there's supposed to be peace for 1,000 years. So why would we say these are the real people and look at that? And when the revelation says that, no, these are the people that are supposed to be there tearing stuff up and lying and doing things in the name of themselves. And we see this. So, and geographically, what I was saying is, if you look at
Because
Yemen right now,
so that's where it becomes a timeline thing, Top Cat, because in a perspective thing, because they're looking at it like the land is being trampled right now by people who aren't supposed to be there. Whether we're calling it usurping, but from their point of view, that shit's already happened.
yeah, but see, they're 100% wrong.
Right, but
because
you're
they know that
asking
those
what's the
people.
thought though. You kind of ask what's the thought, and I'm telling you that's the thought. That's
Mhm.
what they're pushing to the world. They're just not openly saying it. But when we see how the world's playing out, take a step out of your shoes and take a step into their shoes. Wouldn't that be the narrative that you push? That the land has been trampled. This is supposed to be our land. These people are claiming it.
Exactly. Exactly. But then that's what I'm saying. The reality of it comes in. How could those people, it never said that the people that are there weren't supposed to be there. So that's a lie in that aspect, and anybody can see that. To say that the Persians, to say that the Medes, to say that the people that were supposed to be there were always going to be the neighbors of you, weren't supposed to be there, weren't supposed to be the neighbors, would be actually to deflect what the book said in the first place. We know who the neighbors are. We know who's supposed to be there. We know who has came there. We know who got put there. We know who doesn't have a designation, a bloodline, or DNA there, but we're still listening to their examples of what should go on when they're Romanized in the first point. That's why they will call themselves Jews before they will call themselves Israelites or Hebrews. They will call themselves Jews first because they know that they are the Ish. They are not the same people that were there that left. Just like the dude from Egypt said, y'all left here somebody else and came back somebody else. We know, like Genesis said earlier, he said that what's the name was right that they're not the Khazars. Well, I want proof of that. Prove to me they're not the Khazars when their names go back to Khazarianism, when their bloodlines go back to Khazarianism, and the deep state goes back to Khazarianism. It's all in their linkage, and that's what's going on in the point of when we talk about Ukraine and we talk about Russia. We're still talking about Khazarianism. We got into a discussion, me and it was me, Lady Bones, and Steve, and we were talking about these same things. And as I went back and did some more research and studying, as we went into language, I went into the Germanic speech, and all these people came up in that. It goes by the speech just as well. We know who they are. That's why they had to get a different language than the ancient Hebrew. That's why we have a whole different language, a whole different people that are usurping and claiming it, and then they're going there. The Persians didn't do that. They still have their distinct stuff. They are really Semitic. So how can you say there's an anti-Semitism thing, but the only people that you guys are killing and doing this to are Semites?
Can I ask you a question, Top, my darling?
Hold on, Shell. Let
Okay. Okay. All
Hold
right.
on,
So
Shell.
this is
Hold
a
on, Shell. Hold
question.
on, Shell. Because Top Cat posed the question directly to Ryan to begin this on his
Y-
thoughts from being from there. So let him respond to that first.
Okay, I apologize.
So with the Jews, if you know Cyrus the Great, do you know him?
I couldn't understand you, brother. What'd you say again?
Yeah, try to stay
Do you
away
know
from
about
that
the
G
king
word. Yeah. Oh,
Cyrus the Great?
Oh, you said Cyrus the Great. I thought you was talking about genocide. I was like, yeah, we try not to
Nah,
say
nah,
that,
nah.
but now go ahead.
Do you know about the Cyrus the Great? Yeah.
Yeah, it was more than one of them, I thought. But yeah, Cyrus, yeah.
Yeah, the king that helped Jews to just get their temple back, get out of their slavery, and they helped them, you know. So that was a background with the Persian and Jews. Yeah. So they've been there, they've done their things. We helped them to get it back. After the revolution, they changed they changed the Persia to Iran. Yeah, and then we still the same people. We still want to help them, but they're not the same people that Cyrus the Great. They help them. There are a bunch of like evils. It's not the same Jews that we help them. And then now they start doing the Purim. Do you know the Purim is like the killing 300,000 Iranian by going like a spy to the near of the one of the king of Iran called Mordechai. Sorry, I don't know in English, but he one of his prime minister, which is who was Jews, is called Mordechai, and he had a sister, or no, it was someone related to him. I don't know exactly, called Esther. Esther went to the Shah, and after like giving drugs and alcohol and everything, he tried to get his sign to allow them to kill in 300,000 Iranians on that day, and they still celebrating the day. So after the revolution, when the Muslim came, the Muslim believe there is two different major war with Israelis, not only Israelis, the Jews. And the first one, they get away with it, but the second one is hard, and they will wipe out. So that's a belief at the moment in the country of Iran. You know, that's a Shia think that's they're following the Sharia rule. Yeah.
So
So
this
in
is the
Quran,
question that we asking. I think the question that Top Cat is asking is, how do you feel about the Medes? Like, since the Persians are the Persians and the Medes, are those still the same people? Like, are those ancestors? Like, is Top Cat phrased the question so he can kind of answer directly?
so
Because
if
I'm
the
a little
Persian is still the same,
he was asking the question, but he started right there. He started with exactly what you was talking about, and that's what I was trying to get. So that revolution that brought them back to the kingdom, it says in the book, which you're quoting kind of more from, that the Persians and the Medes came together to get them their land back so that they could build the temple. So there had been a mix of the Persians and the Medes at that same time. What I'm trying to find out, you're saying you're Persian. Is there a difference? Is there a mix from that time on where those two kingdoms, because after that happened, those two kingdoms were there, those people were around each other. I would assume that they mixed together and they became a homogenous group. And that's why there's still the point of why there's a division in that country over those same situations. Like, you didn't say I'm Iranian, you said both, or said I'm Persian, but I'm Iranian. What is the difference between the two? And then from that breakup at that situation, bearing that they both inhabit that land, what is your position on that? So everything you just spoke of is exactly
hmm
what I was talking about. You know, you were
yeah,
on it at that point, and I'm trying to see the difference between the two, or is there a difference now between the two? Because I
yeah.
believe they're more homogenous group.
Yeah, about the being mixed with them. So if you know, we are now the Iran is the first enemy of them, but is the second largest state of Israeli and in the Middle East. You know, so of course we mix with them, yeah. But if you see the restricted rule in their religion, they're not allowed to mix with too many like foreign or like other religion people to get, so they have to stay with the Jewish people, their community. So yes, they are smart in the marriage rule. They choosing if they want to go with a foreign or like someone that are non-Jews. So they going with the kings, with a like a politician. They going with a like
I'm not
head
trying to
of
cut
your
you off.
countries.
I'm not
You know what I
talking
mean?
about. I'm not talking about the so-called Israelis or whatnot. I'm talking about the
Because we're going to
Medes
McDonald's
and
and
the
we're going on a
Persians. I'm
The
not talking
meat.
about the
I
Israelis.
told him to go to
I
McDonald's.
don't know what's the meat, bro.
Well, the Medes would be considered Iranians. So when Cyrus came in and he said
Yeah.
the Muslim said that he would put the Medes and the Persians together so that they could build the temple again. That they were the ones behind Cyrus. Cyrus wasn't by himself. It was him and the Medes.
Oh,
So
meat.
that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
now I got you. Now I got you. What's the meat? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So you want to know if the meat and Persian they mix with the Jewish or like with each other.
with each other because they both supposedly inhabit Iran. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah,
Medes
yeah.
would call themselves Iranian,
The,
and you're
the,
Persian, and you call yourself
yeah,
Iranian.
yeah,
So
yeah. I
how
got
you can work that's 2,000 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, I got you because my English is not that perfect. So, one thing from your question, there's two different like part of human. Like there's Persians and there's Medes. Yeah, of course they mixed after they expand the empires, right? And then they mix some of the kings was from the Medes, some of the kings was from the Persian. So yeah, of course the Mede. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get to the point. So there is an homogeneous. They're kind of when I say homogeneous, that's a mix where they have melted together. Now that there is, they are part of each other now. So when you speak of one, you kind of speak of both in the aspects that the Persians kind of enveloped the Medes, but they still took on a lot of the same things. So the customs are mixed. Everything is mixed now. So when I say the Medes and Iranian, I do understand people be like, no, those the Medes aren't the Persians, but yes, they are because it's been 2,000 years of mixing now. So when we look at
Yeah.
it biblically, we have to understand what exactly is going on. Just like right now, when you say the tribes of Israel, if you think that they look or they're exactly what they used to be back then, you would be crazy. They've had to go through so many changes and so many different things. They've been shipped all around the world. But the same ones that are calling themselves that are people that don't have that change. We know exactly where they come from. We know exactly who their relatives are. We know exactly where they go all the way back to Siberia. They have no connection to the Semitic land of Shem. So why are we still acting like they do? You know what I'm saying? We know who these people are just as well as Trump says, okay, he could be the dude said that he was kind of like the Messiah. No, there's not a Messiah. They told you who would be coming out the west, and there would be a king coming out the east. The Bible says this simply, and we still are trying to usurp and put these things there. People are trying to put themselves in a place where they're not. So there's things in Revelations, there's things in Deuteronomy, there's things in all these books that tell you what's supposed to happen when things are supposed to happen. We can't say that one thing is going to happen and the other one hasn't. So when it comes to what's going on now, we know all the things are lined up for these things to happen. Yes, these prophecies are coming forth. The Euphrates dried up a while ago. President Trump was the one that said there was this has been 400 years. He's the one that inaugurated that situation. He said, hold up, this 400 years of slavery is over. Okay, 400 years of the oppression is over. What people did they say that for? If these are the people, why didn't he say that for them? Because they already had their own country. They already had put them there before that. He said that about this country. So what people are they talking about to consider them that people? They're talking about two different people that are supposed to be the same people. So they're supposed to be under 400 years, and then they come out of it. Now we're looking for Babylon to be destroyed. Well, what's the real Babylon? All these things are precepts, and these are things that are supposed to happen. We're looking at certain parts of it, but we're ignoring others. There is supposed to be a woke situation that goes on before all this happens. There's supposed to be people that are set aside and not get involved in all these wars. Who are the people that's saying that they don't have no point in this? We have no reason to be in this. We're just waiting for it to be over. Let them destroy themselves just like the book says. So they're supposed to anger the kings of the Medes. The Medes are supposed to destroy these people that aren't the real people. So the Medes are in that situation. So that's what I was going to say. In another aspect, how do you feel about what's going on with the war right now? Do you feel like it's a situation that is helping Iran, or do you feel like it's a situation that's persecuting Iran?
So what I'm thinking about the war, not even the war at the moment. That's a power shift happening. That's a restart. That's a new world order. So it's not about like only Israel Iran war, bro. Like to me, the perspective is just the sacred organization. Now they got enough power to just manipulate all of us and just keep our focus in certain things like Iran Israel war and like some of other wars like civilian matters and all of that. But the things the concept is different. The concept is just changing of whole world and decentralize the government so there is no one to blame anymore, and it's gonna be cashless society. So like all the values as a human you got right now is gonna be like a joke in maybe like 20 to 50 years from now. Do you know what I mean? So all will be destroyed. So, like for me, in Israel-Iran war specifically, I think what's the plan to just making great Israel as the Bible said. So the Messiah they telling you that's same as Antichrist. We call it Dajjal in in what in Islam. Yeah, we call it Dajjal. So Dajjal is there to manipulate like Christian people and also Muslim people, because we got same roots. Yeah. So they try all the time to just show like Christian people that Muslim people that are the enemy, you know. But now in the new file, as you see, the 9/11 was something else. It's not about the Muslims. If you see the terrorist group in Middle East, they're all created by them and founded by them. If you see now the Jolani, who is the puppet of the fucking Syria for them, he was the Al Qaeda guy. He was in Al Qaeda. He was in ISIS, and now they're putting in the fucking government. So they keep supporting them terrorist group to show you and make your mind ready to show you the Antichrist. You know that Messiah is that. So all that war is not about the political, is not about the money, it's a religious war. You know what I mean? So who's in the Quran, who's gonna stop them is the people that is got the sign of the Persians. Yeah, they're gonna destroy them for the second time. That second time is just too much for them. It's just too much that they can't handle it.
Okay.
They're gonna be like it's gonna be another Holocaust. You know what I mean? So I
Okay.
don't know
One
what
second.
how
One
it's
second,
gonna
right?
go.
I'm gonna give you the floor back. I'm gonna let the chat know that chat, we are about to end this live stream right here, and we're gonna be live on Kick. So I don't know how y'all wanna do that. If y'all wanna meet me over there on Kick, it's kick.com/pluxation. I'm putting it on the community tab wall right now, and or you can join the Discord. You can join the Discord and you can hear in the conversation, or you can catch us on Kick, man. You can catch us on Kick.
Hey, can I jump in one moment on the Kazarian angle?
Go ahead.
Okay, I had always researched and always believed they were Kazarians until last week I heard Nick Fuentes. And he made one very good point that made me question that. I did study that they were warmongering people. They hailed from kind of where Ukraine is now, and it was around 800 AD that they were surrounded maybe by the Ottomans and they were forced to change their pagan religion and pick one of the main religions, Judaism, Christianity, Muslim, and they ended up picking Judaism. But of course, they defiled it on their way. They brought their Talmud, the Kabbalah, the Zohan or Zoran or whatever it is, and they brought the satanic practices and totally screwed up whatever Judaism was. And I believed that that sounded correct in a nutshell. But Nick had said last week, is when I heard it. I'm not sure when he originally said it, but he said if you think about it, those particular people of Judaism, they had been the same way forever, long before 800 AD. I mean, back to before they crucified Christ. They were killing prophets, and that's how these quote blood libels were started because they were based in fact and truth. So when he brought to the audience's attention that their behavior didn't change at 800 AD when the Khazarians allegedly converted, but they had always been that way, that made me really fundamentally question it. So if Nick is still here, I'd love to hear him detangle that if possible. Thank you.
Oh, you thought Nick was on this
That
stream? Who is Nick?
we
You thought Nick Fuentes
do
was
have a
in here?
Oh, no.
Hold on. I'm just trying to ask. Did he think Nick Fuentes was in here? No, Nick's not in here right
No,
now,
no,
man.
I'm saying if anyone heard that from Nick, it was about a week
Oh,
ago that I
oh
heard it, but
yeah,
I'm not sure
I
who
have heard
did.
him.
If
I have
anybody heard that from Nick
no.
and maybe has another take or can kind of detangle that for me, that's what
I can
confused
get it
me
for
with it.
you.
Okay,
I
go
got
ahead.
it for
Top
you,
Cat
brother.
got it. Go ahead.
That's usually that's the number one argument to the Khazarian theory is that they go to the practices and different stuff. Now those practices go back to the stories, the learning, and the laws being put down. Plus, in all those situations, you still have proselytes and usurps. So even at those times, some of those people that were Pharisees and different things that you're talking about came from other traditions, from the Romans, the Greeks, and other different Egyptian civilizations. So that wasn't the real point of Israelites. It still wasn't the real thing. Yes, there was people that were getting martyred and different stuff, and that was the situations that were going on in all of those things. When you dealt with Hittites and you dealt with Jebusites and different people that were coming in, there were still invaders. It was still situations where those people were adopted and some people weren't adopted and assimilating to it and still choosing. Now that Khazarians, when we come down to the point of like what you said, when they came in before, they weren't just warmongering people. Their Khazarians are famous for, if they worked along the trade routes on all of that, all the way through Mesopotamia down to parts of central China. They were not just in that one area, and they were Caucasus people. So they moved up to where the Rhineland was. They were actually down a little bit south of that. And those same people are related to the Scythians. So they're known for, basically, they'll let you come through. They'll let your caravan come through. They'll party you up. They'll learn your ways and everything. Then they smote you, take your clothes, and take whatever you had and go to the next kingdom and sell your stuff. That's what they're known for, actually taking over your identity, going somewhere where you're expected to be in a certain amount of months, and then coming in as those people, putting on your turbans or putting on whatever the hell you have, whatever garments you have, and taking over, and then going and selling your stuff, going back over here, pretending that
Thank you,
they're
Bobby.
those people, and then catching the next people, and that's what they're known for. You get what I'm saying? So they're not just warmongering people. So when they got caught in the situation to have to pick, it wasn't just the Ottoman Empire. They were caught between two different empires. I believe the Roman Empire. They were caught between the East, and so it was either they had to become Muslims, they had to become Christians, and Judaism was the middle road where neither one could say anything. But when the practices came forth, when they saw that what they would have to assimilate with on each side, they picked Judaism because it was the principal point where they still had control over themselves. Either one of those, they would have to come under empire. You see what I'm saying? They're going to have to come under Jesus. I'm just saying, this is what I'm just saying how it looks. They either got to come under Jesus or they're going to have to come under Muhammad. You get what I'm saying? So which one are you going to choose? They said we would rather go with the Most High and stay with this, and that way we're lying about any of it. So these things culturally they came on to, and then most people don't know there was regular Khazarians. There was also black Khazarians.
Okay, right, stop
People
right
don't
there,
really
Top
even.
Cat. Before we get into the Black Khazarians, everybody that is on YouTube, I'm sorry, but this debate has gotten a little too far to be on YouTube. So we're gonna cut the YouTube stream. We'll be live on kick.com/pluxation. I'll be live over there in about the next 5 minutes, or you can join the Discord. Both of the links are on the community tab wall. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I see y'all on the next one. Hey, Mona. But yeah, I will upload this. We'll probably record it and upload it as a video after I get it edited and get all the cussing and the good shit out. But if you want to see it raw and uncensored, y'all gonna have to come to Kick or join the Discord. I'll see y'all on the next one, YouTube. Go ahead, Top Cat. You can pick up with the Black Khazarian.
No, wait a minute. Let me interrupt